What is happening, YouTube? How y'all doing today? My name is Joe, just your average Joe. We are hanging out in the garage. We're getting a late start today. It's been a gloomy, nasty, rainy, heavy rainy day today. Heavy wind. It was just nasty today in my neck of the woods here in the Carolinas. It is dusk. We're getting a late start today. Um, I just didn't want to put my mail lady through grabbing all my stuff today. Not that I had a ton of stuff, but I just rather not put her through that on a nasty day. So we're going to go ahead and get this video knocked out. We got the kids hanging out. We're going to go ahead and get this video knocked out, get our stuff pulled, and get this stuff packed before dinner time. So that's kind of the plan right now. Appreciate you guys hanging with me. If you have not hung out with me before, I've been reselling full-time. Hi, my name is Joe. I've been reselling full-time on eBay for 8 years, give or take, but I've been buying and selling stuff on eBay for 24 years, going on 25. Long time, long time. Appreciate all y'all hanging out with me. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like the videos. If you enjoy anything, if you just like hanging out, if you enjoy anything that you see here, or if I drop a nugget here and there that helps you along your way, gives you an aha moment, like, whew, man, I didn't know that. I'm glad I'm glad I watched. Make sure you drop a subscribe and a follow. Trying to bring you guys some value, a little bit of entertainment and a little bit of value, and just trying to do what I can. Just your average Joe hanging out. This is always raw and unedited, so that's how we do around here. Let's go ahead and get started for the day. We had some comments, we had some sales, nothing crazy. Let's pull up our sales here. I think we had 7 sales, maybe 8. Can't remember. Orders. We had 8 sales. Not too bad. We smashed the goal. If you don't know, my goal is $200 a day, or 400 or 1,400 for the week. Obviously, you're gonna have ebb and flows, ups and downs throughout the week, but so far we're still doing well around the holidays. This fourth quarter has been picking up for sure in December, late November into December. It's been picking up for us finally. Early part of fourth quarter was still like regular old eBay, but I really am not looking forward to going back to regular old eBay. But for now, things are going well. Just had a deposit yesterday for like 1890 something, so almost $1,900, which I'm not complaining. We hit the goal and did pretty well. Week before that, we deposited like $2,200. Wasn't too bad. Week before that, we had deposited like $1,450. So we've been the last few weeks that we've been hitting goal and doing pretty good. So hopefully this continues and we can at least go another week or two of hitting goal, so I can have some cash piled up for 2025, early 2025 yard sale season. Not that there's a lot of them, but I want to start sourcing again because I am starting to get down in my piles a little bit. I never got to my controller pile. My controller pile, there's probably 30 controllers sitting in my living room in a little bin that I got to get through. I plan to get through them today, but today was just a lazy day. It was so nasty out, windy, yuck, nasty. It was rainy, gross. It was thunderstorms. It was, from the moment I woke up till literally about 30 minutes ago, it was just nasty out. So, yeah, it was just one of those days. So today was just one of those lazy days. But anyway, 8 sales for $421.95. We'll go over those in just a moment. Let's hit comments first. Go over some comments. What are y'all doing? Okay. We have like 8-10 comments, something like that. Starting off with hey Mac, it's almost dark, so you can't play for too long. Okay. So Easy Chaos says, "Hey Joe, I'm still here. My computer got the blue screen of death, and I had to fix it along with fixing fuel injectors on my wife's car. Do you ever? That sucks. That's both of those things suck. I understand. No worries though. Do you ever fix the old Xbox 360 red ring problem? Just wondering. Where I work for parts and repair, we don't accept returns anymore. We had it happen on a car stereo we had listed as untested, and for parts repair, the customer sent a message and didn't work, and we had to refer them back to the listing and what it said, even in the header. I will say eBay will make you do a return if it's item not as described. So the customer, if they know how eBay works, they can, even though you say no returns, just as a caveat and FYI, if the customer is savvy, And you may or may not know this, but even if you have no returns on your headliner, your description, in the eBay portion that says no returns, if the item comes in not as described, so in other words, they say it came in damaged or not working when you said it was working, or even if you said it wasn't working, but they say it's not working, and it basically, if your listing didn't say it wasn't working, eBay will make you do a return for item not as described. It sucks, but that's as far as I know, that's how it still goes. Item not as described, they're going to force you to do the return on it. So I believe, maybe I'm wrong, because I do returns, so I don't mess with the no return section portion of that. So if anybody wants to chime in on that, but I'm pretty sure, I'm like 95% sure I'm right, that as item not as described, they're still going to force you to do a return on it. So if anybody wants to chime in and kind of help me there and confirm that for me, that'd be great. I may or may not be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right on that one. But anyways, as far as the Xbox 360s go, I have fixed my own personal Xbox 360 Red Ring of Death. It was a temporary fix. It lasted like 6-8 months. This was years ago. It lasted I don't know, maybe another 6-8 months, and then it happened again, and then I just ended up upgrading or getting the new Xbox at that time. I don't remember what I did, because this was probably 10-ish years ago, maybe more. Hell, probably more. But I don't fix them for, if I get them and they're Red Ring of Death, I don't mess with them. If I remember correctly, it's too much. You have to take the whole board out, and I forget exactly what I had to do to get it to fix, because it's something about how the board's laid on the thing with the chip and things like that. So and then it's hit and miss whether you can fix it, and then it's hit and miss whether it stays fixed. And so yeah, Red Wings of Death, typically I'm just going to sell it for partial repair and let somebody else mess with it. Luckily I haven't come across many Red Wings of Death, but I also don't mess with a lot of the OG Xbox 360s, the white ones. I don't really mess with those too much. Typically I pass when I see those. The only Xbox 360s I normally pick up that I still mess with are going to be the Slim. Those are tanks, man. I've yet to have one that I can remember. I'm sure maybe there's been one, but they rarely ever have problems that I have come across. Now, I know they have problems, but I have not come across many, very, very few, if any, that have had actual issues. And that's, reading discs, red rings, any of that kind of stuff. They did a pretty good job on the 360 Slims. Anyway, so hopefully that helps a little bit, and hopefully your buyer, just accepts the no return. Obviously, if you're a buyer and your stuff has it all over the place, that you're not offering returns, it's untested, da da da. Hopefully they're a good buyer and understand that they were taking a shot, and if it worked, great. If not, maybe they can fix it, and if not, they're not going to return it because your stuff said no returns and all that. So hopefully it's a good buyer, but some of the savvy buyers will still do a return under item not as described, and then I'm pretty sure you're forced to do a return if that's the case. But again, hopefully that's not the case for you, and that they decide to just own it and take ownership and understand that what they were getting into and just take ownership. You know what I mean? That's all right. Yarina I think's got a long one here. We got Yarina. Oh my God, post office here. Has me scared and upset. Everything I've sold before starting December has been delivered just fine and super quick, no matter where. 2-3 days. December hits, and I have sold 4 items December 1st, and buyers just got them today, but tracking wouldn't move. And when it did, it moved to different locations here within my zip code, and had no reason to, like, sitting in different locations within Orlando and not moving at all. And the items were iPads and MacBooks, and I was oh gosh, if anything's lost, I don't even want to deal with that, because on top of that, people who bought the things, they were the kind that asked until the last thing about the item, no matter how many pictures I had put, my long descriptions, etc., and messaging me many times throughout the day about it. I actually realized things were bad when the first item was going to Miami, and I live in Orlando, and it was sitting. But thank God, everything got delivered today. I'm blaming it on the season. And by the way, I'm just thinking like you. Hope the iPad I resold for partial repair that got sent back, that the guy who got it don't do the same thing that the prior one with the serial number. They shouldn't. I mean, I think that was a unique situation, that dude, because you sent the box with it and then they used that as the reason to return. I think that's kind of the caveat there. So I think you're going to be fine on the resell on it. But yeah, I mean, this time of year, things do sometimes get delayed and lost, and they get found, but they could certainly take longer. But my two situations weren't even near Christmas, man. This was September and October for my two situations. So I don't. The post office, my confidence in the post office is kind of anyway. So I don't know. It's just the trending in the wrong direction. Post office is meh. They're yeah. But they paid me out on my two claims and my stuff got delivered, so I'm not complaining. If you watch the last video, you'll know what I'm talking about. But yeah, Erie Trader, hey Joe, Waze cameras are good. Erie Trader, thank you for commenting. Waze cameras are good, and they have a doorbell as well. Also, what's your go-to at Jersey Mike's? My go-to at Jersey Mike's is typically the number 5, but lately I've been doing the Chipotle chicken Philly. It's like a newer one that they have that's I thought was like a limited, but now it's on the menu, like I guess regularly. But the Chipotle chicken Philly with jalapenos and extra lettuce. But the number 5 is the super sub. You can't go wrong with the super sub, man. That one's a good one too. What's your go-to at Jersey Mike's? And mine has changed over time for a while. It depends on the time, man. Sometimes like that I forget what it's called, the one with roast beef, turkey, and bacon. I think it's the Club Supreme or something like that. That's a hearty sandwich, man. Sometimes that one gets up there on my list. So it just kind of depends. At one time, the regular steak Phillies were on my list, but now I've kind of changed to chicken and do more of the chicken ones. I'm not normally a ranch fan, but sometimes the ranch Philly, the ranch chicken bacon ranch is up there. It just I like all the subs, but I would say normally either the number 5 or the Chipotle chicken Philly with like I said, extra lettuce and jalapenos. So Erie Trader says things are going good here, and go Lions. Well, I'm glad things are going well, Erie Trader. Thank you for commenting, hanging out, and go Lions, man. Look, we're looking good. Looking good. Hey, Zeus says, see, it's getting dark. It's almost dark out. I'm never on this late. See, it's getting dark out there. Damn, Average Joe. I was going to ask you what the name of the stuff you use to remove stickers. Lo and behold, you end the show with it. Thanks again, Joe, for the lessons, and stay warm. Cheers. Well, it's back to yesterday was like it's almost 70. Today was like, even though it was nasty out, it was like 65. Tomorrow it's supposed to be like 60, and then we got another cold front coming through where it's going to get chilly again. Back in the 40s for like a week. But that's Carolina weather, man. You wake up one day and it's 70, and you wake up the next day it's 40, 30, 25. So but appreciate you hanging out, Jesus, as always, and the support. And I'm glad I could help you with that Goo Gone adhesive remover. That stuff is gold, man. Like if you need to take off adhesive, sticky residue, or stickers off of anything, that stuff is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Demetrius, welcome back. Thank you for commenting. He says, hey Joe, I really think you should start selling on Mercari because it's 0 fees and you get your items in front of a whole new audience. And now Mercari has a tool that will import all of your listings from eBay. I think it will help you a lot for your 1,400 a week goal you have for yourself. And then the Dark 25 says, hello, in case you haven't heard, next year, January 6th, Mercari is adding back the fees, 10% for sellers and 3.6% for buyers. So I didn't know any of that because I don't mess with Mercari, but I appreciate the insight from both of y'all. I've thought about it, and until my back is against the wall and I'm really struggling, I think I'm going to stick to eBay for now, just because it's convenient, it's easy, and I know how it rolls. Not to say I'll never move over to Mercari or start the cross listing process. I know that was part of my plan for 2025, and it may still be, but it's not a priority. Maybe I should make it a priority, honestly, but at least for now, I'm just, maybe I'm complacent. Maybe I like to stay in my comfort zone, whatever you want to call it. And I know that's not always a good thing. You need to kind of branch out and start new things and try new things and all that. So part of me is like, do it. But the other part of me is like, I don't really need to. But it would be nice to get some extra sales. So again, maybe if Mercari has its own thing to incorporate the listings where I don't have to go through a third-party app, and if they cancel the listing when it sells, that would be even better. Let me know if it does that now. But I do know the buyer's premium, they were charging buyers like that 13%. So I know stuff on Mercari doesn't sell as much because they're feeing the buyers. So obviously you're not going to get as much money on stuff on through Mercari, but that's fine. It's all pretty well boils down to the same. eBay is going to either take their chunk or you're going to sell it for a little bit less over there because Macari's taking their chunk from the customer. Obviously now from what the Dark 25 says, they're going back to doing 10% for buyers and 3.6% for 10% for sellers, 3.6 for buyers, which again, it all pretty well in that 13% range. So, but you're not wrong. Getting the eyeballs on new customers, that is still possibly going to be a thing I try for 2025. So stay tuned is all I can say there. Maybe I'll get a fire under my butt one day and just go ahead and do it and see what happens with it. And because I'm doing it anyway, so might as well. What's one other platform to check stuff? I mean, anyway, we'll see how things go. But you're not wrong, and I appreciate that. I should do it. It's kind of like I should be doing a lot of things and you end up not, I end up not. So, it's kind of like one of those things like I should be doing it. Yeah. But it's, that's why I'm just your average Joe. You know what I mean? Like I sometimes I would love to be that go getter, super proactive. Some folks, man, I envy because they got the execution and drive. I've got drive, but I like to be comfort in my drive and knowing what I'm doing in my drive, and easy is if for me in my drive. Other people look at what I do and like, man, I wish I could, and and then I look at other people and I'm like, man, I wish I could be like, and so there's so many different levels and so many different types of folks, so it's like, what, I'm gonna try to keep doing me as long as I can stay somewhat successful, between my football helmet business and eBay. Stay within my means between the two of them because they do both take time out of my day. If I didn't have the football helmet business, I would certainly do a lot more on the eBay side of stuff. I would do Mercari, I would do cross listing, I would try to pump out a lot more stuff. I would be more aggressive. I would, sell a lot more on marketplace and do all that stuff and Poshmark. But I've got another source of income doing something totally different than reselling. It's still sales driven. It's football helmets, autographed football helmets, or sports memorabilia, but it's a whole different world. And that takes a lot of time out of my week as well. So, it's like, and then the other time that I have downtime, I could be hustling and pushing and grinding and doing more. But there's also, you got to have some time where you balance yourself out and you have you time and chill time and just down and just relax time and not have to stress about everything that you got going on and all the other stuff that's happening, plus the life stuff. You also have life stuff happening and kids and, dinner and, just the everyday stuff that you got to deal with every day. So it's nice to, in those gaps where I've got me time, I like my me time. Maybe I have a little too much me time. Maybe I could grind more during my me time and do other things, but I'm a fan of me time. I mean, I'm 40. I'm not getting younger. I'm in my early 44. I'll be 44 this year in 2025. I'll be 44. So, I'm not old by any means, but I'm also not getting any younger. So, you know what? I know I only have so many years to continue to earn at a high level. And so I'm going to do what I do, but I'm also going to enjoy my time too, because the one thing I've learned over my lifetime, for me at least, is that you got to balance out your work and your life. And so, and your you time. And so, some people could call it lazy. Some people could call it, that's a great, that's awesome that you can afford to do both, all those things. Some people look at it in different, all different perspectives. You know what I mean? It's different folks, different strokes for different folks and different perspectives and different mindsets and, whatever works for you, man, at the end of the day. So, and as long as you can be successful, pay your bills, have some little extra money to do things that you want to do and have fun, not have to answer to the man, be your own boss. Like there's a lot of perks to all this, even though I'm not, rich as hell and have all the things in the world that, that doesn't matter to me. So to me, I feel that I'm in a blessed position. I'll just say that, I'm not rich by any means, but I'm certainly blessed. I'm somewhat healthy, which I'm going to keep working. I'm going to work on that as 2025 and work on my health and beyond that, but get back to working on my health, but I'm pretty healthy. I mean, I've I got some heart issues and things, but you know, I haven't really gotten into that much, but I've got some heart stuff going on. But as far as like, you know, overall, I'm pretty healthy. You know, I've got a great family. I've got a house that I'm blessed with that ain't a huge house, but it works for us. I've got some toys like a jet ski and a boat that we can enjoy and have memories, make memories in the summertime. You know, we got our, you know, we've kind of nestled ourselves into a nice little life here. And there's, again, different strokes for different folks. Some folks want just, you know, want to going to grind and grind and grind until, you know, they're happy and satisfied because they have that huge mansion or that huge house and that lake and that, you know, or that beach or that wherever and wherever. And, you know, they don't want to get married. They want to stay single because they want to make all the money and, you know, be where they want to be in life. And that's fine. The person that's doing that, the person that's not grinding hardly at all, that's just doing a little side hustle, has a full-time job, that has an apartment, that, you know, that has a girlfriend, that they're looking to have kids, and reselling is just enough to make an extra couple extra dollars because they need to make a couple extra dollars to make ends meet. You know, there's whatever lifestyle, whatever, wherever you're at in life, because it also depends where you're at in life, younger, older, you know, retired, just starting off. You know, whatever works for you, wherever you're at in life, as long as you can provide, you're not struggling, you're not in the poorhouse, you know, that you're not having to, what am I trying to say? If I don't even know what I'm trying to say, I'm rambling at this point, to be honest with you. But, you know, as long as you can provide, you know, whether it's for yourself or for your family, and you're hustling and not just giving up. That's the main thing, is just continue to hustle and not give up on life, not give up on, I don't even know where I'm going with this. I'm going to stop here because I don't really know what my point to all this was now. I've kind of lost my way, but that's why this is all raw and unedited. But just keep doing you, and whatever success looks like for you, you keep doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? And if you want to go harder, go harder. If you don't want to go as hard, that's okay. Don't let anybody judge you. Don't let anybody worry about or put anything in your head, whether you're a slacker because you're not doing enough, or you're an overachiever because you're doing too much. Who cares? As long as it's working for you and you enjoy doing it and it's sustainable, whatever it is, as long as it's working for you. We'll leave it at that. I think that's a good place to leave it at. All right. Man, I went way in left field for nothing. I don't even know what happened there. All right, next comment up. We got a couple more, and then we'll jump into sales. Captain Stable. Captain Stable. I think this is the second or maybe third time you've commented. Captain Stable, appreciate you coming back and commenting and hanging out. He says, "Hey, Joe, I referred previously to you as a SME of eBay. Wanted to share what happened to my neighbor. She made a purchase on eBay of 3 pairs of basketball shorts, specifically Jordan brand, from a same seller. Her package arrived and only contained 1 pair. She received a notice from eBay Authenticator that the lab identified the other 2 as fake and returned them to the seller." Wow, they're actually going through eBay verification for basketball shorts? They must have been some high dollar basketball shorts, because I think there's a certain dollar threshold before they go to the. I didn't even know they were doing that for shorts. I know they do it for shoes. I know they do it for cards like Pokemon or sports cards. I had no idea they were doing authentication for clothes. So that's a new one for me. I'll just let me stop there and just say that. That's wild. They're doing that authentication for clothes. I wonder if they're doing it for. I've sold jerseys and they've not done it for jerseys. I wonder if there's a certain dollar amount, because I know with cards and stuff, there's a certain dollar amount, and shoes typically that once it reaches a certain dollar amount, that's when it triggers the. I think actually all shoes go to the authenticators, but I think for like cards, it's a certain dollar amount, and then it's got to go to the authenticators. So I'm wondering how that works with the clothes, because I just sold 2 jerseys and they didn't go to the authentication for eBay, so they just went straight. But I maybe anyway. So that one I'm a little gray on that when it comes to clothes. I didn't know they were doing that for clothes. It's not a bad idea, because there's a lot of fake clothes too. But the seller was angry, claiming they didn't know, claiming to be the victim. The seller revealed they were purchased at a flea market in the area. She was happy eBay had this protection. Are you familiar with this eBay lab in New York that is used? Also, you need to wear and keep that watch on after you get it running, especially since it came from your mom. Thanks, Joe. Keep it up. You know what? I haven't worn the watch since I got it working. I need to be wearing that thing more often. You're not wrong. That was my mom's present, and she is still with us. I thank God every day that she's still here. She's not in the best of health, but she is still around. We talk every day, almost every day. But yeah, that's a cherishable thing for me for sure. I'm glad I got it running again. I should be wearing it, yes. I am familiar with it, like I said before, when it comes to cards and it comes to shoes. I didn't know they were doing clothes, but I've never had a item of clothing triggered to go to that process. What I can say is the seller shouldn't have been upset. If I buy jerseys and I sell jerseys online, if they happen to go through the authentication and they happen to fail, if I'm not mistaken, the eBay is going to send them back to me. And I just don't get paid for those. They end up refunding the customer, and I just don't get paid out for those. I can claim victim all I want. At the end of the day, if they're deemed as fake, I have to eat that and just keep it moving and not buy from that flea market again. That's my bad. You know what I mean? Like I should know how to that seller should learn to be more vigilant in knowing fake versus real. Like I have a pretty good eye with jerseys. I don't pick up a ton of jerseys because I know somewhat what to look for when it comes to jerseys, especially football jerseys mainly. But a lot of it goes through like all jerseys for the most part. But football I'm pretty good at. But there are a lot of fakes. There's a lot of China jerseys that look really good, but there's little subtle differences that you can pick up on. Like lettering is different style of, one letter is a little bit bigger than the other, a little smaller. The stitching goes from letter to letter. The NFL logo isn't quite centered. The stitching on the logo isn't quite on the outline. It's a little, it's a little off a little bit. It's those subtle things that you wouldn't know. Most people aren't going to even see that you can kind of identify, okay, I'm pretty sure that's a fake. And then I'm not going to buy it, because I'm not trying to sell fake stuff on eBay. Now, can it happen and one squeaks through, two squeak through, and I sell it and I don't know the difference and the buyer don't know the difference, and it never goes through the authentication process because I'd imagine there's a dollar amount there that before it goes through that process, then it is what it is. But for the most part, it goes back to me. That's on me. I have to do a better job of learning and educating myself on what's real and what's not, and be more have a better eye when I'm out there buying stuff on what's real and what's not. So I'm not selling fake stuff. So I don't have that happen again on eBay. Obviously, I'd imagine if you have enough fake stuff get sold and it goes through that process and it gets kicked back, at some point eBay is going to ding you. I don't believe if you sell something that you thought was real and it's fake that eBay is going to ding you if it happens once, maybe even twice. But I'm sure if that becomes a trend that they're eventually going to ding your account some way, somehow. But yeah, so I mean, that's all I got to say about that. So the buyer shouldn't, or the seller shouldn't be trying to claim victim, because there's nothing anybody's going to do because you accidentally sold fake stuff on eBay. You're just going to refund the buyer. They're going to ship back your stuff and you keep it moving. You just learn from it and keep it moving. So to try to play victim for what? I mean, at the end of the day, you sold something fake, whether you knew it or not. Unfortunately, you got to eat it and you got to keep it moving. That's it. So that's really all I got to say about that. Again, I'm kind of shocked that they're doing that with clothes, but I imagine if anybody else knows more about the clothes, it's a clothes reseller that wants to chime in on that, that'd be great, because I'd imagine there's a certain dollar amount before that gets triggered to go to the authentication center. Because again, I'm familiar with it when it comes to cards. I'm familiar with it when it comes to shoes. I've had plenty of shoes go through authentication. I've had one pair come back fake, and out of all the Jordans and things that I've sold, and again, that's how I know they don't really do much, at least the one time. What's up? I know if it happens like once, like they're not going to do anything. They just ship it back to you and you refund the buyer, and that's it. That's fine. It's not a point for me to play victim. So anyway, there's that. And then we got the Dark 25 says, "Hey Joe, that was me mentioning the collector case. The controller Chase paid $5,000 for. It's the golden E3 championship controller given to those that beat Star Fox 64 at the E3 tournament. Yeah, that was I think in '97. I think is when that was done. So yeah, I don't have that controller. That'd be nice." And then Phantom says, "Hey Joe, win-win at the post office. Check out Big Lots, if you are into Switch games, seen them for 15 to 20 in store, some on clearance online, worth a peek. Hey, we got a couple Big Lots in town. I may have to check that out. See, I didn't know they were going out of business though. I know you mentioned that, but I don't know if the ones in our town are going out of business or if all of them are going out of business. Then I guess ours are going out of business. But I have to check up on that, and I may have to stop by Big Lots here soon and see what they got. But that's all for comments. Let's move over to sales. Refresh this real quick. Make sure there's nothing else here. I think we're caught up on comments. All right. Again, sales. We had a total of 8 sales, $421.95. $421.95. First thing that sold was ice hockey. Ice hockey. Where did I put those at? Y'all saw, yeah, here we are. Y'all just saw me put these up yesterday. Ice hockey sold for, in fact, ice hockey and, didn't I just say it yesterday? This game needs to go. NFL Quarterback Club. NFL Quarterback Club sold for $14. It's got the game and everything in it. Manual, $14 plus shipping. Ice hockey is just the box and the manual, sold for $12 plus shipping. Legends, this is one of those minty, nice minty, and I put that in the listing that it is minty because it's like new, mint condition. This thing feels glossy. It is nice. The buyer won't be disappointed. Legends sold for, and it went for premium, $30. Normally they go for like 20, 15. This one went for $30 plus shipping because it is in absolute mint condition, and I put that in the listing. $30 plus shipping on that one. More of these actually sold. I forgot. Golf sold for box only. Mario Golf Game Boy sold for $20 plus shipping. And this Super 35-in-1. Super 35-in-1. It does have the game in it. It's for Game Boy. It's got 35 Japanese game. Well, they're like, some of them are like, they're in English, but they're Japanese. But anyway, Super 35-in-1. I got that from the guy in Raleigh this past weekend. In fact, 3 of those items I got from the guy in Raleigh over the weekend. So I'm already starting to chip away at that $400. That's sold for $48 plus shipping. $48 plus shipping on that one. So there's that. Next thing that sold was $41,029. $41,029. $41,028. $41,029. Friends Lego. I got these. I got like 10 of these at a yard sale probably a year and a half ago. One left. I just sold this one. We got one left. This sold for, and I think I picked them up for like $1 a piece. This one sold for $12 plus shipping. The big one's already sold for pretty good money, but like I said, I got one left now. Nintendo 64 with 2 controllers. N64 with 2 controllers. Sold for like $120. Reach, Wii, teal N64. N64 Forsaken. Is that it? Nope. N64 must be on the other side. N64 with 2 controllers. I think that's the new one I just put up. I think it's over there. 1 second. N64. N64 gray controller. Pretty sure that's it. Pretty sure this is it. Yep. All right. So this sold for N64, 2 controllers, 4 games, one of them being Mario. I typically try to put Mario in with all of them. I'm not going to pull everything out, but there it is. There's the lot. Sold for $135 plus shipping. $135 plus shipping. That's one with the blue cart. Perfect. All right. And then the last thing that sold, we were just talking about this. We sold finally $63 plus shipping. Wii with the pink remote. Wii with the pink remote. Man, I'm telling you, I got like 5 more Wiis. Man, I hope I can sell the rest of them between now and Christmas. Wii with the pink remote. Which one is this? That is not the pink remote. Wii with Transformers. I think that's it right there. All right. So here we go. Sold a Wii for $63. It comes with one controller and a nunchuck, a pink one. The wheel, which I just threw in there, it doesn't even have Mario Kart, but I threw the wheel in. 6 loose games. Nothing great. All filler. $63 plus shipping. Hey, I'm just glad to get rid of that. That's 2 Wiis in 2 days, man. I'm happy about that. Or 3 days. Getting rid of some Wiis. Again, that's 8 sales, $421.95. So I'm going to go ahead and pack this stuff up and then get ready for dinner. That's it for me tonight, guys. Appreciate all y'all hanging out with me. It is dark out there already. So hopefully your sales are going good. Hopefully, the sales bugs biting you, because we got about a weekish. About 7-ish days, 6-7 days before things, I think, start to go back to normal. So anyway, enjoy the rest of your night, everybody. If you have any questions, comments, make sure you drop them. I'm always here to help, and we'll see y'all tomorrow. Assuming we have sales between now and tomorrow, I'll be back. Bye, everybody.